They say heroes are born in uniforms, but sometimes the bravest hero is the one mopping the hallway. Today's story is about a father, a quiet janitor who faced the unthinkable danger, fought back with everything he had, and then discovered something that changed his life forever. The sun had barely climbed over the roof of Riverside Elementary when Adil, a 38-year-old janitor and single father, arrived at work. He walked with tired eyes but a warm smile that never faded. He carried two things every day: his mop bucket and his little daughter Hania, who clung to his hand until school started. Adil, to daughter, "Stay strong, princess. One day Baba will do better for you, I promise." Hania nodded, believing him with all her heart. Adil had been a janitor for 5 years. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. Barely, and every day, he felt a quiet pressure inside him, the sense that he should be doing something more. But life hadn't given him many choices. Still, he never complained, because for him everything was worth it, as long as his daughter was safe. Around noon, the school felt unusually quiet. Adil was cleaning the hallway when he heard something. A loud metallic clank, followed by hurried footsteps. He paused. Then came a scream from the principal's office. He dropped his mop instantly. Adil. Hania. He didn't know where she was at that moment. She could be with her teacher, or she could be near danger. And the fear shot straight through his chest. He ran toward the noise. Adil turned the corner and froze. 3 armed men, faces covered, carrying pistols, stormed through the hallway. The leader barked orders. "Leader, find the girl. Bring her to me." Adil felt his breath stop. Find the girl? Which girl? Why? Then he heard someone running behind him. Hania. His daughter sprinted toward him, terrified, her little backpack bouncing. Hania. "Daddy, please stop them." Adil pulled her into his arms. The robbers turned toward the sound. "Leader. There, grab them." Adil's heart pounded like a drum. He had no weapon, no plan. Nothing but sheer desperation. But a father's fear is stronger than any bullet. Adil whispered to his daughter, "Adil, hide in the storage room. Don't come out until I say." She hesitated. Hania. "But Daddy." Adil. "Go." Tears streamed down her face as she crawled under a row of lockers and slipped into the storage room. The armed men closed in. Adil stood between them and the room his daughter hid in. "Robber No. 1. Move aside, janitor." Adil didn't move. Then, one robber lunged. Adil grabbed the only thing he could, his metal mop handle, and swung with all his strength. Crack! The robber collapsed. The other 2 fired shots. Adil ducked behind a water dispenser. The hallway echoed with gunfire, broken glass, and shouts. Adil ran into a classroom, grabbed a fire extinguisher and pulled the pin. As the robbers rushed in, he blasted their faces with the white cloud, blinding them. They coughed and panicked. He used the moment to strike, first robbing one of his gun, then knocking him down. But the leader recovered fast. He aimed the gun directly at Adil. "Leader, you should have stayed out of this." Adil stared back, chest heaving. "Adil, not when my daughter's life is on the line." The leader stepped closer. A gunshot echoed. But it wasn't Adil. One of the wounded robbers had fired blindly. The bullet hit Adil's shoulder and sent him crashing to the ground. He groaned in pain but grabbed the fallen gun and fired into the ceiling, startling the men long enough for him to crawl away. As Adil struggled to sit up, the leader shouted to his men, "Leader, we need that girl. She's the key. Her father stole the USB from us." Adil froze. What USB? What were they talking about? And then it hit him. A month ago, he found a small USB drive in a trash can while cleaning the parking lot. Thinking it belonged to a student, he had kept it safely to turn in later. But he forgot. He never imagined it belonged to criminals, or that they would come looking for it. And now they wanted his daughter to force him to give it back. His blood boiled. Adil's shoulder throbbed, but he pushed through the pain. He limped toward the storage room. Hania. "Daddy, you're bleeding." Adil. "I'll be okay." He took her hand. Then he turned to see the leader standing at the far end of the hall, gun raised. "Leader, you can't protect her." Adil stepped in front of his daughter, shielding her body with his own. But before the leader could fire, the school alarm blared. Sirens screamed outside. Police burst through the doors, weapons drawn. In seconds, the robbers were surrounded. The leader tried to grab Hania, but Adil charged one last time, tackling him to the ground despite his injury. The gun slid across the floor. Police handcuffed the men as Adil collapsed, exhausted, shaking, and bleeding. Hania rushed to him. Hania. "Daddy, Daddy!" He cupped her face with trembling hands. Adil. "Are you safe, princess?" Hania. "Yes, because of you." A few hours later, Adil lay in a hospital bed. His shoulder was bandaged and his face was bruised. Then the door opened. A man in a sharply pressed suit walked in, the Minister of Education. Behind him stood the principal, still shaken but grateful. "Minister, Mr. Adil, your bravery saved the entire school." Adil tried to sit up, wincing. "Minister, you didn't just stop them. You saved dozens of children. You fought like a trained officer. You risked your life." Adil looked down. "Adil, I'm just a janitor, sir." The minister smiled. "Minister, not anymore." He handed Adil a document. Adil stared at it, eyes widening. It was an official job offer. A government security position, a salary 3 times higher, full benefits, and a scholarship for his daughter. Hania gasped. "Daddy, this means our life will change." Adil's eyes filled with tears, not of pain but relief. "Minister, heroes deserve respect. You are one." Weeks later, Adil stood proudly in his new uniform, security officer for the district. He watched as Hania ran toward him after school, smiling brighter than ever. For the first time in years, life felt full of hope. She hugged him. "Hania, Daddy, you're my hero." Adil kissed her forehead. "Adil, no, princess. You are my strength." They walked home hand in hand under the golden evening sky. A father who fought with the heart of a lion, and a daughter who believed in him long before anyone else did.